Hi class. I'm going to give you an overview of Google Calendars today. My students know that if there's any questions from this video, they can give me a call and we can work one-on-one through the example. Okay, so Google Calendars. Let's bring out a Chrome browser. And Google has given us a lot of tools that we're using for our CMS, our content management system. And to get to those additional tools, sometimes they're called apps. And this does say, this little pop-up calls it Google Apps. But long before we called them all apps, they were tools. And so you go to the little Rubik's Cube that I call it, that's our Google Apps. And you may have calendar on this, or you may have to scroll down to more and even more to look at the complete list of all of the apps that are free with your Google account. And when I scroll down, they're kind of broken up into the web, into mobile, into business, and a lot of the business are Google Ads, into media like YouTube, and a lot of our imaging software. Geo is where we have maps. We're going to be embedding a map later on in the semester. Custom searches. And under Home and Office, we have Gmail and Docs, Slides, which is similar to PowerPoint, Drawings, and Calendar. Over on the other side, you find our sites. So if we go into Calendar, you're going to see that I have quite a few calendars because I've been using calendars for probably 12 years. And I have lots of different calendars over here, but you can create a calendar. To see my calendar on a website, let's go back to our class website here, where normally we're going down into assignments. You can access my calendar right from here. So if you wanted to know what I was up to today, you could scroll down and you could see that this is February and the gold is what I'm up to tonight. Thursday night I'm driving to Springfield and I'm tutoring and I've got 2 more things and I'm teaching at CCV and then I'm off to visit, do my family stuff. And this is my calendar, and this is my real calendar, and it's really on my webpage so that my family and clients know what I'm up to on any given day. When you schedule, time with me to work on one-on-one, I put you in, and that kind of stuff. So this is calendar, and this is how I use calendar within my website. So I've embedded it so that it's just another page. But let's go and see how we do this. The first thing we do is you create a calendar. Now, I have lots of calendars for different things, and to create a calendar, you just click the Create button. Here I could create a CCV calendar if I wanted to, and I could save it. So that now, when I look at other calendars and I scroll down, I can add a friend's calendar, or I can browse for different calendars. I can combine calendars with a URL so that I could have, one of the biggest things for small companies is scheduling, so that you could have different employees keep calendars of the days that they're working and the days that they have commitments so that you can schedule some things. You can also create multiple calendars for not just for people, but for rooms in your office, for resources like vehicles or computers or overhead projectors or anything like that. Anything that you have to schedule, you can create a calendar for. So there's lots of great calendars, calendar tutorials, and let's just go out to Google and let me show you how I look for training tutorials. First of all, to me, YouTube is the greatest training tool that has ever been created. So first I go out to YouTube. Now, if you're a video person, if you're not a video person, then just Google instructions. But if you are a video person, YouTube is the easiest way to go to it. And then I would put in Google Calendar. And here, if I wanted to look at appointment slots, we could do that. So it would show you all of these. Now, one of the things when we're doing Google searches is that you really want to have things current, because things that 2 years ago, it's kind of iffy because Google changes things so often. 4 months ago is good, a year ago is good, but how do you sort these out? I go up to filters, and from filters I say basically this year. I want to just have videos from this year. So you can look and see creating appointment slots in Google Calendar to see which of these people best explains things to you. Google Calendar appointment slots, this is a good one. But watch a couple of them to set up your Google Calendar. And use the filters, you know, if you only want short videos or if you only want long videos. If you need them, suppose the person has an accent or you really just want to turn the sound down. Does it have subtitles? Is it something that you can reuse? Is it something from Creative Commons? And suppose I only want things that are very short. So now I'm getting down to 2 of them. You know, here, this is a short one, but it was 3 years ago, so I have to go back into my filters and maybe take out Creative Commons. And then I can start to look at some of the different creating events in Google Calendar. But once again, this is 4 years ago, so something happened when I deleted one of those, so I want to go back to my filters and I want to grab this year, so I see this year that it's short and it has subtitles. So now I can start looking at these using Google Calendar to manage your time. What is the cloud? And then they kind of go on to Google Maps, which we'll be doing later. But find a video that works for you, and I'll just kind of show you how I embed them. So once you have a calendar, let's embed it. So we can go back to, I'm going to go back here, I'm going to go down to my web students, and I'm going to go out to my new Google site that I'm using for this class, which is here. Now I haven't created a calendar page yet, so I'm going to go up and add a new page, and I'm just going to name it Calendar. And I'm going to create it. So I've created a calendar page, and now I want to insert a calendar. So I go up to Insert, and I go down and I look at all of these different options where you can embed YouTube or Maps or Hangouts or something from your Google Drive, a document or a chart. And here's Calendar. So when I go to Calendar, I have calendars from all my previous computer apps students. And I want to grab my own. So I'm going to grab my own and I'm going to select it. Now I can put the size of it on. I can decide what the width is. I can decide how I want to view it, either in month or a different time zone. What do I want to see? Do I want to include a title? And then I can save it. So once I save it, and then I save it, I save this page, because you can't really see the calendar until you finish saving the page. So I'm going to save my page. And now I see my calendar. But the one thing that it doesn't have is it doesn't have holidays and things like that. And I really need that in my calendar. So I'm going to go up and edit the page again. And I'm going to click on this. And I'm going to click on the little gear. And here I want to display another calendar. So in my other calendar, I want to display not birthdays of the garden club, not weather, and any of these that are proprietary from the Yankees or the Dolphins or the Patriots or something, they won't show up on a public calendar. But I do want to grab the holidays of the United States, and I want to select that. And I just want to change the day, change what it says in the title, because it's going to, whatever your last one is what it's going to be. And I'll just say JilMac's calendar. And now I'm going to click Save. And I'm going to save this page. And when I look at my calendar now, you may not see anything because this is February, but February probably has, yeah, here it is, Valentine's Day. If I go into March, we're going to see things like Easter, Easter Sunday, and I can change the colors in that calendar too. But that is how you insert a calendar into your Google website. Now that's not the only way that you can insert a calendar into a web page. Let's look at how you would do it in HTML. Here I have my calendar, and if I want to go to my gear, I can go into settings, and here is where I can change a lot of the settings, what my custom default is. Do I look at 7 days or just 5 days, kind of things. So those are some settings for yours. I can look at my calendars and all the different calendars. And here is this JilMac. This is my main calendar. I can get notifications. And I can see who I've shared it with and who has editing. So if I want to look at the shared, I'm looking at it where I've shared it with a particular person, my spouse. And this is where you make the calendar public. If your calendar isn't public, when you look at your web page, it's just going to say that there are parts that that can't be displayed. So that you can have a private calendar, and on that private calendar you can share only the free or busy times and hide all the details. So there's lots of different levels of making your calendar available to different people. You don't have to, it doesn't have to say when you were at the dentist, just that you were busy that time and you're not available. I think we looked at the calendar details. Nope, we haven't looked at the calendar details yet. In calendar details, here is where you can embed this calendar. And notice how we have an iframe set up. So I'm just going to copy that because that's how we embed it into HTML. And I'm going to bring up a, here's my notepad, and here is the gradient code. I'm going to open a new page, and I'm going to paste this iframe embed code in. The iframe was an embedded frame, and we can have our calendar. And it tells us, I'm going to kind of space this out so it's a little bit easier to see that where our timeline is America, New York. Our style has a border, and the border is 0 width. We could make it bigger if we wanted to. The width is 800. The height is 600. There is no frame border. There is no scrolling. And then we close the iframe. So this is how we're getting that. We're also we have the screen name of my email address. Okay. So this is that code. You're going to find this embed code in lots of different places. When you're out there looking at YouTube tutorials, here we are, here's a tutorial how to insert appointment slots into Google Calendar. If I open this up, this one happens to be closed captions. I'm going to stop it from running. And then if I want to share, right here we have the share code, and you can share it by looking at this link, but you also have an embed code. And here is our embed code to embed a YouTube video. Let me just go all the way up from iframe to iframe. So let's put this in our Notepad++. So this is an iframe for embedding your calendar, and this is an iframe for embedding a YouTube video in your HTML code. If you're going to embed a YouTube video inside your Google sites, it's just an insert. But if you're going to embed it inside your HTML code, then you're going to want to do it with an iframe. And you can put a border on and all kinds of different things. But being able to embed things and go and get the code that easily does it, you know, so that it doesn't have any bugs in it and the least amount of any kind of code issues. Most sites that want you to embed something will give you the code. And if you've never been exposed to code before, you're like, how do I find this? But this is how you find it. Here it is out on YouTube, and here it is out on Calendar, and you're also going to have it in slideshows and different things. So that embed code is important. All right, and so now we go back to Calendar, and this is what it looks like, and you can modify it and change it. So I want you to have fun with embedding a calendar into your Google site, and you have a choice. You know, people who have had enough of coding with all those before and afters, you can just do it in your Google site. For those of you who want to really embrace the HTML code, go ahead and have fun with it, and you can use it as one of your before and afters. Or maybe somebody would want to use it as a before and after some week. Okay, great. So have fun with calendars, and I'll see you in the next video.